Hi, what's up guys? I am back for my 36-week pregnancy update. I think the last update that I did, I was 29 weeks, if I remember correctly. So yeah, it's been a while. I have a few things to talk about. I could talk for hours about everything that's been going on, but I want to keep this video a little shorter than a couple hours. So I'm just going to talk about how I'm doing in 3 categories: how I'm feeling spiritually, how I'm feeling emotionally, and physically. So yeah, let's just get started in all of that. All right, so first of all, spiritually. So I don't know if you really know. If you do, if you don't know the whole journey, or I guess what's the word, story behind this pregnancy, if you have seen the story behind baby number 2 videos or not. But basically, it's not an ideal situation. This pregnancy was not planned in any way by me. And so it really has messed with my spiritual connection with God, I feel like. It's not anybody else's fault. I just felt like, I feel like babies are miracles, and God puts babies on this earth. They're not ever accidents. Maybe we aren't planning for them, but He always has a plan. So to be pregnant in the situation that I am in, it just messed everything up in what I believe and how I feel. So it took me a while. It kind of knocked me off the religion wagon for a minute. But I did take some time. I found some good sermons on YouTube, and I was listening to those. And they're talking about relationships and how we relate to one another, and then, relationships nowadays. And it was a really good thing for me to watch and really get into. So spiritually, I'm just reconnecting. I am doing more praying and everything like that. So spiritually, I'm doing better than I was in the beginning of my pregnancy, but I still have a while to go. Emotionally, right now, I feel really, really good. A few weeks ago, I was not doing so hot. There were really a couple weeks there where I was not sleeping at night, not just because I'm severely uncomfortable, but because just there's a lot going on in my head and my life. I would not sleep at night, but then I would wake up, take my daughter to school, and then sleep all day. And then, my whole life became like this depressive state. I was not happy. I was never thinking positive thoughts. I was not spending time with my daughter. I just was sleeping all the time and just not eating very well or very much. It was not a good time for me. But then, like I said, I started watching those sermons. I started reading this really self-empowering book. I got my nails done. I got my toenails done. And I don't know what it was, but I decided, I snapped out of it. And I woke up one day and I was like, I can't just sit here and be sad and moping around about everything that's going on. The situation is what it is. We're moving forward. I'm having a baby soon, and there is a 3-year-old girl who's here right now and needs me to be her mom. So I had that time where I was down and out for a little bit, but then I got it together, and right now, like I said, I'm doing really well emotionally. I just finished the nursery. As you can see, I'm in the nursery right now. I will link down below. I just uploaded a nursery tour, so if you want to see what it looks like in full, click that link below. And I also picked a name for the baby, so that's revealed in the nursery tour as well. And then I also I just dove into a bunch of projects. I decided that I was going to get the room finished. So I had letters for their names in their room that I had to paint. I finished the last bit of shopping that I needed to do for my hospital bag and for postpartum supplies and for the rest of the baby's clothes and everything. So I just decided to pick myself up and just dive into getting ready for this baby, because she's coming whether I like it or not, or whether I'm ready or not. So I just would rather be ready and be in a better place. I finished my semester at school with A's, and I am just, I'm just trying to do the best that I can and get ready and prepared for the baby. Physically, there have been a few things that have happened since it's been a while. I think my last video in my last video, I had been admitted for preterm labor, and I came home and was on bed rest for a while, and then I actually went into more preterm labor. And this was part of my like emotional state. I was thinking, I am doing this to myself. I am depressed. I am not eating well. I'm not being active. I'm not doing anything good for myself or my body. And my body is like, what's going on? And it's trying to go into labor. So that's what I think. I mean, obviously you can't really pinpoint preterm labor, but I did have another episode. I woke up and I was having contractions, and I took my medicine that's supposed to stop them, and they didn't stop. So I had to go back into the hospital. Thank goodness I was only in triage for like 2-3 hours maybe while they monitored me, and then my contractions stopped, and then I was able to go home. I didn't have to stay overnight this time. But yeah, so I had that, and then now in the past, I'd say for the past 2 weeks, I've been contracting again. And I mean, I don't think it's not preterm labor this time. I think now it's my body's getting ready to go into actual labor, because now I am 36 weeks, so I'm full term. So I don't have to take the medicine to stop my contractions anymore. I don't have to call and go to the hospital. But I do get I will have like an hour or two where my contractions are pretty regular and pretty strong, and then they'll just stop. Or it'll just be throughout the day or whatever. But I have been getting contractions. But like I said, I think it's just my body getting ready. I don't think I'm dilating or anything like that. So yeah, so we're getting ready to have this baby. Other than that, physically I'm feeling very tired. I am just getting to the home stretch. I'm very uncomfortable. I'm uncomfortable sitting, standing, laying down in the daytime, at nighttime. I'm just uncomfortable all the time. But I guess that's part of the game here. Let's see, I have some things written down here. I had weird dreams for a couple weeks there. Even one time, I think the power went out in my house or something in the middle of the night. It was like midnight, 3 o'clock in the morning, something like somewhere in between there. And the power went out, which I didn't know. I thought I was having a dream where there's like an energy in my room, and I was like half awake, half asleep, and like I just woke up, and all of a sudden like the lights in my room like flashed, and I was like, there's an energy in here. I'm scared. I'm like freaked out. I got up, I checked on my daughter. I was like, what's going on? I'm freaked out. But then I found out in the morning what had happened was the power went out, and our carbon dioxide monitors or smoke detectors or whatever they are, they squeak when the power goes out. And so I think the squeak woke me up, and then the power was like flipping back on, so it made the lights flash. But I thought I was having like seriously a dream where there was like something in my room with me, and I was like freaked out. So I was having weird dreams. I'm going to the bathroom every 20-30 seconds. I'm actually surprised that I have sat here and filmed this whole video without having to pee in the middle of it, because I'm telling you, all the time I'm going to the bathroom. I already said I'm really tired. I was having breathlessness, but now the baby has dropped like a lot, so she's not sitting in my lungs so much. Which, funny story, I was in my public speaking class that I was taking, and we had to give a speech. And before my speech, I gave a disclaimer, and I said, if it sounds like I'm out of breath, I'm really sorry. I'm not uncomfortable speaking in front of you, but I do have feet in my lungs, so it's not very easy for me to breathe right now. And everybody laughed, and I just went on and gave my speech. And then my teacher's comment after my speech was, well, if you hadn't said anything, we wouldn't have noticed. And I was like, oh, okay, so maybe next time I won't say anything. So the next time I gave my next speech, I didn't say anything. And then at the end, I got back my rubric, and I got points off for not breathing. She was like, it sounds like you're out of breath. Maybe slow it down a little bit. And I was like, I tried to tell you, I literally cannot breathe. Like, I am not trying to be uncomfortable. I'm trying to take my time, but I cannot breathe. I have feet in my lungs. So I was kind of annoyed about that, but whatever. But like I said, since then she's dropped. And then the last thing that I was experiencing, or I guess am experiencing, are leg cramps and swollen feet. My feet didn't really swell up with Naomi, but this time they're like, at the end of the day, I'm walking on like water balloons. Like, they hurt. They're really swollen at the end of the day. So yeah, and so are my fingers, kind of. it's not comfortable. I just am ready to be done being pregnant. And like that's kind of a double-ended sword because on one hand I'm like I don't want to be pregnant. I just want to bend over and tie my own shoes. Just like please just let me do that or sit down for 20 minutes without going to the bathroom. But then on the other hand, I know that everything in my whole life changes as soon as the baby's here. It's 100% easier to do my daily life without having to worry about a baby. And it's easier when she's inside of me. So I'm like, on the other hand, I'm like, stay in there as long as you want to, just whatever. So anyway, that is what's going on with me for 36 weeks. I am due June 8th still. That's still my due date. And so I'm hoping to go at least until June 1st. The doctor said history repeats itself, and I had Naomi at 39 weeks. So that brings me to about June 1st if I have her at 39 weeks too. So there's that. This is probably going to be the last pregnancy update. The next one that I do is probably going to be like a postpartum / meet the baby update. And then I'm going to upload a what's in my hospital bag video because I have actually gotten some messages asking to do that since my baby haul of like things that I got for the baby. So I'm going to do that. I'll show you my belly and then that is it. So thank you so much for watching and I guess I'll see you next time. Bye. All right, so here is my last belly shot at 36 weeks. Whew, goodness. I seriously cannot tell you how uncomfortable I am. I could not express enough. And I've got these cute little new stretch marks, the purpley ones up here. And she like she's hanging out like this way. So she's head down, facing my back, and then her little back is here, her little booty butt is here, and her feet are over here. So, last one. I forgot to say at her ultrasound, they saw hair on her ultrasound. So she's got a lot of hair. That's it. 36 weeks.